this. I'm just going to quickly take a look at the backup CyberArk. We're going to look at the replicate backup.exe. As you all know, run the backup from the PAReplicate directory, and it starts running the backup. We're currently running full backup there, and it's going to back up our stuff to private arc data, all the files there. But we're going to have a look at replicate. Here we go, replicate. So currently we've got running like this. Come on, and I'm just going to run the add everything to the log file. And that's the where you have to unfortunately come back and have a look and see what happened. Okay, so I've written a Python script. Come back to scripts directory. Updated my script. Go to Notepad. We have to install Python and 7-zip. And then if you come through imported processes, CyberArk processes, got a mail server that we've hooked up in there, and we're going to run a password. So basically what it's going to do is return some variables that we're going to call on. We're going to back up our file to another location. So we're going to back it up to that location, then we're going to final log file later on. So we're going to move and back it up. Then we're going to change the directory path to replicate directory. Then we're going to run our backup command. If it's not the 6th, it will run this backup. If it's the 6th, which is a Sunday, it will run the full backup. So it will run the incremental backup normally, and then run the full backup on a Sunday. So we're going to copy. I'm going to check the directory that it's created, and so when the backup runs, we're going to then check the log file paths and check that for errors. It's got an error, it's going to change its subject to CyberArk backup finished with errors. Otherwise, it's going to change subject to successful, finished successfully. Please check the log file. It's going to be in the log file. There's your email parameters. It's going to send it as plain text. It's going to add password protect the log file with a password called strong password 123 currently exclamation mark. You can change that to whatever you want. Then it's going to add the date and time stamp to the log file. Then it's going to email it. Then once that's done, it's going to do the email part here and send the mail and then quit. Then we're going to do the log file rotation fixing up. So it's going to take the log file that it created, put it, append it to the backup, rename the backup to the final log file. And then it's going to clean up after that and remove and delete. So when we can go back to Python. This is the Python script here. We can watch this. If we click on here, it's going to start running. It's moving the backup file, creates the backup file, does the backup, as you can see, backup, that's all runs, that creates the backup file. So we can go back to the replicate directory, refresh, log file timestamp is the same. Check the timestamp, go to the bottom of the log file, timestamp is 8:57, but now if we go to where our email is being sent and processed, which is actually on our DC in this environment, we can come back to our log file, open up, and 10:57 got a log file. We can save that. So our desktop, click save. We have our password stored in here in Notepad. Here we go. So we can control copy that. Go to our desktop, our latest file, tonight, and paste in our password. And we just get the log file for today at 8:59. Started, backup processed, completely successful. So we can also go through and check. So if it doesn't finish successfully, finishes with errors, we can go and save that. Click save, save, okay, we can replace it. So this is at 1609. Let's go back to 1609. Replicate. And we opened it earlier for the password, so it doesn't store the password. But we can see that there was an error, and we can go and check the logs. Means we don't have to go and check everything all the time. Extract. Here's our log file. But it remembers your password that you put in for your specific text file. So if we run the new one, it won't remember the text file for the password for the new file that it creates. And it just means that you don't have to log into your PBDA or CPM, check your backups every day. Okay, and then it's just, we can run that on the scheduled task, which we've got running here. So we've got a history. There's an old backup. This is the new one. Got actions. Have a look at it. Let's have a look. Right click properties. We're running currently just now. Configure it like that. 10 a.m. daily. Okay, go edit. Put the location of the Python.exe. Okay. Then the script we're going to run, and the script location that we want to run it in. And start a program. Conditions, we haven't met any other conditions. We've got these conditions set currently, but that's about it. And that's just because it's running on a laptop. Then we've got settings that you can change if you want. You can stop this after 4 hours if you want. And then you can get history. Click OK. And we can run the schedule task now again. And it's running it. And closes. Go to history. There's our task completed. Another one. Go back to our DC. There's 901. I'm going to save that. Save it. Save. Right here. Desktop. Extract all. Extract. Need a password. Back to our password file. Copy that. Paste it in again. Okay. And then we'll have a time stamped file for us to look at, check what's wrong with it, and check if anything was wrong with our backup. Makes life a little easier. So back at the script, let's have a look. You can look at it, and so every time it'll run, it keeps it updated and it adds it, appends it to make sure that it's appended to the bottom. This is our script. It's in my GitHub repository, which I'll also put a link in the description. So currently, there's your variables again. It's been updated. So it runs with Python. We're running Python 3.18. Let's see there, 3.8, 3.12 is our release running currently. Go to details, there you go. 3.12.3. Okay, it's our version of Python that we're running. And that's about it. Easy application, and runs, makes life a little easier. Just got to have Python installed and 7-zip. So 7-zip is running our compression at the bottom here and our password protection. Yeah. So that is just for program. That is just the short version for program files. Like 64-bit because we need it to run on from here. It's got to run from here. So we use the short format for here. So you need, if you install the program files into D, E, or F, you need to edit these locations. Where for like the C drive, if you've got the C drive open, if you're running CyberArk replicate from the C drive, or use or any of those sort of changes, you need to edit these changes accordingly. And if you've got your program files for 7-zip in another folder drive as well, you need to edit that. Okay, there we go.